Hey, Donna here from the Everything Saxophone Podcast, and we're here at the Key Leaves Everything Saxophone Podcast NAMM Hang 2019. I'm so honored to have George Reeder here from Rovner Products. Thanks so much, George, for joining us.
You're so welcome, Donna.
I'm one of the Rovner ambassadors. I got to tell you, it's like being with a family. George and Lynn are so nice. Seriously, I'm not just saying this for the camera. You guys are so nice. It's like family. I love seeing you every year here.
It is really wonderful to have an extended family.
Yes, it is.
And be entertained by them as well.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. We've had you on the podcast. You were on my BAM Radio Network show, so we've talked a lot. What I wanted to do here at NAMM was focus on the newest ligature that came out. This is a beauty, folks. Okay, you ready? I'm going to reveal it.
All right.
Here it is. This is the Platinum Gold. Okay, you can see it's beautiful. Beautiful design. You saw Tim Price has this. You saw it on his mouthpiece. His Jody Jazz Super Jet. This is the Jody Jazz Jet. I just actually bought this. This is an amazing mouthpiece, and it goes great with a Rovner ligature. Let's talk about the Platinum Gold.
All right. So we came out with the Platinum maybe around 2011, and it was designed to satisfy folks that thought they only liked metal. And that's fine. We respect that. So we came out with a metal ligature. It ended up being wonderfully received initially in the clarinet market because although one would think that it's bright, although it's brilliant in its looks, that it's actually slightly dark with a bell-like tone. So it was all about tone, bell-like, concentrated, beautiful tone. Then I realized that if it were darker, it would have more appeal to some folk that prefer an even darker sound.
Okay.
So we experimented with coating it in gold, and then when we found the right amount, it was like magic.
Wow.
So then the ligature became darker with a halo of softness around it, and that was really quite beautiful. But then we realized when we turned to the Jazz Cats, there was even more. And one of those was Tim Price. Tim came to our facility and we were experimenting. And when I first heard Tim live, I realized that he valued sound.
Oh my gosh, does he ever? I mean, his sound is just so incredible.
It's big, it's fat, nuanced. And I thought he might like this ligature. I wasn't prepared for what happened though. So he's playing and he's got a big sound and he put his new Jody Jazz mouthpiece on there and he played it and it was awesome. And I said, Tim, try this. So I gave it to him. He played it and the wall beside me started vibrating. The whole room took a vibration from this sound.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing. I walked outside and I could feel the room outside. I was so impressed. But then what I heard was this sound of quality, a spectrum that I hadn't heard before. So what I call it a bouquet of notes that combined to have these other beauties of sound. And that was the wonderful moment for me where I realized that it even had more special characteristic than being dark. That it had some other thing that people could explore that they never had access to.
Wow.
And that's what we're loving about the Platinum Gold.
And let's also talk about the design of this too, because most of your ligatures are inverted, meaning the screw's on the top, but this one is not. The screw is actually on the bottom.
That's right. And so when people put it on, they typically put it on inverted, and that's not wrong. Because most of our ligatures, the way they're designed, you can use them inverted or with the regular, what I call in this case, the pins on reed.
Got it, okay.
But the original design was to have the pins be on the reed and it held the reed in a particular way. But we found that some people have experimented and they like to turn it around. So that's perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
And what I find is on some of the smaller soprano mouthpieces, it can be a little difficult to put the reed on. And if you spin it around, it goes on so easy. And by doing that, it takes a set and makes it easier to put on later.
So now, the Platinum Gold, is that for all the saxes like soprano, alto, tenor, and bari?
Yes. So we make that in all the popular sizes.
Got it. Okay.
And a metal alto, a metal tenor. So we do have a fairly full spectrum.
Okay.
So it can fit most. Not all, but most.
Now, let me ask you this question, too, because, there's so many different mouthpieces out there today, and it's hard to know, exactly which size. So
Yes.
how can people get the help to determine the right size ligature?
Right. There are multiple ways. We have if you go on our website, you can put in your mouthpiece, and it will show the correct size. We have a resource guide that you can download, and it's a PDF, and it has a lot of information about our ligatures, including a list of all of many of the mouthpiece makers. Of course, there are quite a few of them with many new models, and we will be updating that every year to try to keep up. And then finally, what I do is I use a reference mouthpiece. So if it's sized like an Auto Link on tenor metal, that's going to be a particular size, a 3 ml. If it's sized like a Berg Larsen tenor, that's a 2M.
Got it.
And so if you have a ligature already and you can put it on there, it helps you size it very, very quickly.
Okay, great.
So you can do substitution.
I'm glad that you mentioned this because I know there's tons of we're at NAMM here, folks, so we're getting drummers playing and strings. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh. But I'm glad you mentioned, with the sizing and finding the right size and stuff. And there are so many different new mouthpiece makers out there.
Yes.
So let's say, they're still a little confused. Is there someone, can they contact you or can they contact somebody else?
Yes. So we have someone in our organization who is dedicated to customer service. His name is David Hayes. And if you do info at Rovner Products, he will see that and he'll follow up with you with email or phone call, whatever's right for you.
Great. So info at Rovner Products. If you have questions about any of the ligatures and whether they will fit your mouthpiece or cymbal crash.
and now that's right, the drums are entering our sphere.
That's right. Oh my gosh. It's the fourth day at NAMM here, and we're all a little tired, a little punchy, but overall very happy. Almost as happy as that kid playing the drums right now.
That's great. A lot of enthusiasm in the playing.
That's right, exactly. Is there anything else that's new coming up for you in this year, or that you can talk about?
Yeah. Well, we have new things always that we're experimenting with because that's what drives us. But we do have something that's not a ligature or a mouthpiece, and that is a stand to hold saxophones.
Oh.
And we call it Clearly Elegant. You won't even find it on the webpage just yet because we just introduced it at NAMM.
Oh, terrific.
And so it's a stand that would fit anything from a fully curved sopranino to a baritone saxophone, one stand.
Wow.
And it displays it in a way that allows you to see the front of the saxophone, and it becomes invisible. So it's really quite nice and very new, and no one else has done this before.
Wow, that's great.
We're very proud of this and excited to share it with folks.
Oh, that's awesome. So when do you think we'll be able to see that on the website?
I would say sometime in February.
Oh, all right, that's close.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Cool. All right, well, I think the drums are kind of driving us out a little bit here.
Yeah.
But
okay.
George, thank you so much for your time. And again, I am so happy to be a Rovner ambassador. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
And part of our criteria for a Rovner ambassador is being a good person. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.